Good morning, folks. So, day 3 of cruising on my own. It's a bit wet in the night, rained a bit, it's cloudy, it's damp, probably going to rain today, sun's trying to break through. It sort of feels like an autumnal day. I mean, it is September, but it's starting to feel a bit autumnal, and I might have some showers today. So I'm going to crack on, get done what I can. See how far I can get. I need to get some provisions, so there's a Tesco's in Leighton Buzzard. I'm going to pop into there. So that's my day. Right, there, crack on. Just round the corner from where we are at Bridge 82A, they're trying to build a brand new broad beam canal linking the Grand Union with the Great Ouse over on the east. Now this would make a massive difference in navigation. To get you across to sort of the Fens in the east and Bedford and all there, rather than having to go a very long way around. The trust was set up in 1995. I say the canal's only got to be 16 miles, and it would save weeks of travel if you wanted to get that way. They've built a wonderful big marina here, which we're about to go past in a moment. Well, good luck to them, really. I mean, to build a 16-mile canal don't sound a lot, but in this stage of NIMBYism, not in my backyard for those who are abroad and don't know that phrase, or bananas, as I hear they say in America, build absolutely nothing anywhere near anything. I don't know. It is a problem, plus where you're going to get the 40 or 50 million pounds needed from. But it would be a massive boost to this area around Milton Keynes. Superb. Hope it happens. So that's Bridge 82 just behind me. 82A coming up is where the new marine's going to be. And on my left is a pub I went to last night for a pint and something to eat. Right, I'll show you where we are. So there's the Warbler on the Wharf, a really big pub. Brand new. And you know, you often think, oh, these places, you know, missing a bit of character and stuff, but it's really pleasant. Had a nice meal and a pint. Excellent service, highly recommended. And this is the new bridge. There's a huge marina here that's been built, probably in anticipation. I think that area just there is where the new canal link's going through, or it might be going through off the back of this marina, I'm not sure. Who can tell? For an interesting project. And as you can see, there's a lot of anticipation, not necessarily of a new link, but of the money to be made developing canal side locations. So you've got all these new blocks and flats, houses around the back, communities, the boating over there, the pub. Yeah, exciting place to be. So as we leave that new area, you can see behind me some empty moorings. I think that's part of the development. Loads more going on here, just being built on my right. Hive of activity. All good for the economy, good for the waterways, good for us all, really. You can really see the colours starting to change. I've noticed a bit the last few miles. Autumn's sadly on its way. Cannot moan after the sun we've had, glorious heat, dry, day after day after day. But we've definitely got a change in the trees. Different colours starting to come out. Bridge 89, approaching the end of Milton Keynes. And it really is lovely. One of the interesting things is, of course, because Milton Keynes is a new town, and a lot of the bridges were built in the days when the canal was first built. And so with all the new roads and new developments, there's so many bridges with A, B, C, D. There's 79, 79A, 79B, 79C, 79D, then you get to 80, then it's 80A, 81, 81A and so on. So there's Bridge 89 in the background. We're definitely leaving Milton Keynes, and as you can see, back in the open countryside. Not for long. It's Fenny Stratford next, with a very small lock, about a foot deep I believe, and a swing bridge, so that'll keep you busy. So I've been cruising for about 3/4 of an hour this morning, and it wasn't the earliest of starts, before 9 or 9 o'clock-ish, but there's something really nice about cruising in the morning, especially on a day like this where it's very fresh. You know, the dew's rising up off the ground, the sun's trying to break through, people going about their business, getting ready for work. Oh, there's a boat coming. I better slow right down to the tight bridge here. Charles Wells Pub the Plough. And I've got a couple more bridges and then I'm into my next lock, my first lock of the day. Well, I'm approaching Fenny Stratton Lock, and the boat's just gone the other way and told me there's another boat in there now. So if they see me, I think it's just around this bend I'm going round, that might really help me get straight in. So there's the lock, no other boats in it, nobody around. Have to moor up and get ready to do that. So it's not very deep at all. Just the swing bridge is a bit of a pain in the middle. But hey. Oh, no, somebody opening the lock gates. Oh, that's handy, very handy. So it's quite a busy lock, 2 boats, lots of people. So I've just got to get in there now, they've all gone. Shut the gates, get the water through, and the swing bridge. Trusty windlass. Thank you very much. So I'm going to pull this one through, be easier. Well, of all the locks I've done by myself, that was the lowest. It's only about a foot difference between the two, and yet the hardest. I didn't have to do the swing bridge because the other boaters, and but the wind, and I pulled the boat through rather than jump on, because the area afterwards, you can just see it on my left here, it's like the wrong shape to get into after the lock, and the wind was blowing out to the middle. So trying to get into the lock, I was bashed into the gate, then it was blowing across. There's nowhere to tie the centre rope to when you're in the middle of a lock. When you're by yourself, that's a problem. And then once I'd tied up to get out, tied up once I was out, and that took some doing to get the boat in that recess in the wind. A woman walked up who was either wide beam I spoke to earlier. They were reversing the wide beam down the cut to get to a different mooring. They'd changed their mind and come back up and decided to go in the lock. So after all that, I didn't have to do the swing bridge because they were coming up, and there was somebody there to help me, but after I'd done all the rushing around. Phew! Yeah, all them big tall locks and God knows what, nothing compared to that one, just. So it's Stoke Hammond Lock I'm heading towards. Stoke Hammond, I think I told you about, is one of the thankful villages after World War I. Then it's Soulbury locks, is it? I've got it written down here. Soulbury locks. Soulbury locks. There's 3 of those. They've generally got CRT help on by a big pub. There's always an audience. Hopefully, I'll have a bit of help on that, because that last one I did myself, in the wind, I was all over the place. I really found that hard, and I said it's the smallest lock you go through. The wind's dropped a bit now, so the weather has been very, very, very changeable. Very nice place, wherever that is. Pleasant area. Nice garden down to here. Great mooring. And we're off around the bend into the countryside. So I'm at the lock now. The boat's just come through, so it's empty. Although the gates are shut, so I've got to go and do that. Just moor up here. There's the lock under the bridge. Bridge 104. And hopefully it should open pretty quick. Yeah, that's enough. Shut that back down, save you doing it later. That was handy having that done or emptied. Oh. Pushing. Paddle down. Go fetch my boat. Okay, it's a bit windy, just gusts. Take my time, should get in without hitting the gate. Fingers crossed. Looking good. Cross a bit more, about an inch. Yeah. And get ready to stop it and climb the ladder. It's took me some time to do this, because every time I've opened one sluice, a boat went wild inside the lock. Then I opened the other, it went wild again. And oh, wrong one. And obviously doing the paddles, really got the current flowing. So all you have to do is take your time. Which is what I'm doing, of course. That must be nearly ready to go. Yep. So now let's close this one down, the sluice, and the paddles. So give it a shove. Oh, that's heavy. Now the boat's on the other side of the lock, but I should be able to get through this one, wind permitting, without doing the other one, because the mooring positions are over here. Let's see. I left the right hand lock gate shut, hoping to get just out the left one, just saves work, and the wind has just blown it completely open. So I suppose it makes it easiest to get out the lock. Just a bit more work when I come to shut it. And it's not shutting the gate as such, it's just that when I shut the one on my left here, to get to the one on my right, I have to walk all the way around the lock, over the other gates, come there, shut it, then walk all the way back. But hey, no mad rush. It's got a moor up now. So I haven't quite left the lock behind, you can see it behind me. And there's a boat coming. So, had I been a minute or two later, that'd have been perfect. Well known on the Grand Union, Jules Fuels. I go up and down to Grand Union, delivering fuel, coal, gas, diesel, wood, kindling, whatever you desire really. And what a good service it is. Love the old boats too. Right, Salisbury Locks is just round that bend ahead. And here we have 3 locks. And I see some CRT people and a boat in the lock coming down. And actually there might be 2 or 3 coming down. So I should have quite an easy time here. Right, into the locks we go. Boat's just left. There's only 1 boat in the lock, well, nobody in the locks, and 6 helpers I think. Hiya. It's the Wyvern boat that's just come out. Yeah, it looks like there's at least 4 helpers, and just me, and the lock's set for me. Good day today. Right, I better watch what I'm doing because it's really windy. It's blown all over the place. Cool, look at that for an amount of water. Obviously done the paddles before the sluicing, that's a bit odd. That is a lot. You don't get stuck in that at the front to sink your boat here. There's the 3 Locks pub. Well worth a visit. And you might not be able to see, probably with the camera, but just above this lock the next one's wide open waiting for me. I reckon at this rate I'm going to get through the 3 Salisbury locks, all 3 of them, quicker than I did the single one at Fenny, I don't remember the name, Fenny Drayton, that's in the Midlands, aren't they? So the guys are opening it up for me, closing the paddles, and next one's open. I'll just go watch the wind as I go across. I was in the right hand side of the lock, and as soon as the boat showed itself above the top as the water rose, hurtled to the left. Thank you very much. Brilliant stuff. Making my life easier today. Thank you. Well, Linda might not be here, but this is what I like to see. 4 guys, open lock, these 2 are about to open the gates in front of me. 2 at the top, all empty, ready to go. Excellent stuff. And a lovely little gatekeeper's house. As always, you get so many of these lovely buildings. And that's where I've come down from, down at 3 Locks. So no worrying about shutting the gates, it's all done for me. Just gotta watch the wind in the middle here. Thanks again. Cute. I quite enjoy doing locks, but by yourself not so much, and this has been brilliant. It's quite a tall one. It's for climbing up and down the ladder all the time, holding a windlass and a rope and the slippy steps. They're, I don't know, it's quite worrying when you're by yourself. There's a nice view of the pub and the locks. I'm in the top lock just waiting for it to, the gates to open. It's nearly full. CRT chaps on the right having a sit down. Not much traffic today, normally loads. And away we go, quickly, due to the help from these wonderful guys. Salisbury free locks. Good stuff. Right, I'm going to moor it for lunch now, I think. Thanks again, chaps. So there's the globe in. It's very nice. And we're very close to Leighton Buzzard. It's about a mile down here to the town centre. There's a Tesco's there that you can moor up at. I need some milk and a few other bits and bobs. It's way past my lunchtime. But that means I can make myself a cup of tea, do some shopping, get a few provisions. Milk's one of the essentials, and then after a bit of a lunch break, crack on again. Well, I'm very near Leighton Buzzard town centre now, and as I said, I was going to go to Tesco's, get lunch and stuff. I just forgot one thing. There's the lock first, Leighton Lock. So while I was sitting there dreaming of cups of tea, I got to go and do the lock, and it's just around this bend, I believe. There's very few boats out and about today. I think I've passed about 2 all morning going the other way. No, a couple more, maybe 4. I don't know. So I've pretty much got the waterway to myself, so I'll probably have a lock to myself. It's only the one. Right, let's see what beckons round the bend. Will it be set for me or not? We'll see. So there's the lock. Let's go and see. Well, the lock is as full as could be. So I better get paddling. Well, it's emptying pretty quick. So that looks about empty. It's 6'11" this lock. Let's see. Yep. Okay, let's get into this lock. So I've hardly seen a boat, and as I come up the lock, there's 2 boats waiting to go down. So that saved me shutting my gates and all that kind of stuff. Phew. So I was hoping to stop for lunch about an hour and 15 minutes ago. But having had a quick look at the map and saw that Tesco's was up here, I need to stop anyway. I just thought, I'll push on, I'll cope. So I'm a few hundred yards from Tesco's, got its own dedicated mooring. Indeed. It's always very busy around here, but hopefully I can moor up outside Tesco. I think it's 1 hour or 2 hours, something or other. There's generally space. So hopefully I can moor up outside Tesco's, and I'll have had a very successful morning and early afternoon. If I can't moor outside Tesco's, I'll be a bit miffed. Hey ho. Tesco's is on the left just for that bridge, and I've always been boats all the way down here, which is a bit off-putting looking for mooring. That's because these are all long-term mooring positions. So if you've got a long-term mooring agreement, that's fine. Just want to pop to Tesco's, you'll see some spaces, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boats ahead. There's just 2 spaces. And there's a boat coming up the cut. If he parks smack in the middle, I'll be cross. But yeah, we'll get in there easy and I can nip to Tesco's. Excellent stuff. Well, I've just left the mooring at Tesco's in Leighton Buzzard. Such a handy mooring that is. So I topped up the provisions, had some lunch, big mug of tea, and I'm cracking on again. When I came out of Tesco's, I put all the stuff in the boat, and about a minute later the heavens opened, it chucked it down. Then the sun came out. So we're still on a bit of mixed weather. It doesn't look that good at the moment. It's 5 to 4 now. So I'm not sure how long I'm going to go for. If I can do an hour, I'd be happy. If I can do more, great. There's a few individual locks coming up, not big flights, but in about an hour or two, so that'll be tomorrow I suppose, I think there's 7 locks in 4 or 5 miles, well spread out, so you sort of do a bit lock, do a bit lock, do a bit lock. That's fine. So I will see how much I do today. Just spoke to Linda on the phone, she can't wait to come back and join me, although she's loving doing her grandmother duties, looking after our little granddaughter. So I don't begrudge her that. I'm looking forward to her coming back. You can see a pub up ahead and a big lock right next to it. And over to the right, you can see, I'm sure, what that is. A big black cloud. And well, I got a suspicion it's going to rain. Anyway, let's get to this lock. So I've moored up. It's a very attractive looking pub and a very full lock with water pouring out. So I'll be here quite a while. Hopefully that rain will hold off. Just keep my eye on the boat, make sure it don't float away. It's very windy. That rain is coming this way. And it started. Yeah, that'll do. I'll go and get the coat and the boat. That'll open. Just open the one again. Make my life easier. I'm going to get blown off here. So apart from blowing and raining, it's wonderful. So what I'm going to do is walk this one through the lock rather than jump on and then jump off again. I'll just walk it through the lock because they're easy enough to move once you get them going, and then I can just tie up there, shut the gate, jump on and I'm done, as opposed to start it, move forwards. Well, that's the lock done, you can see behind me, and I think walking it through like that was a good plan. Could have jumped on, started it, moved across, but it's just good because you're always holding a rope, pull it at your own pace, lock up again. I think it's quicker, certainly easier. I think you're more in control because it's just slow and you always got hold of the rope and can't go wrong really. Famous last words, can't go wrong really, splash. But yeah, that's not bad. So you can possibly tell, sun's out, see it shine on my bald forehead. Sun's now out, that rain cloud's passed. God knows what's coming up next. There's thick black clouds ahead, blue sky behind, mix and match weather. What do the weather people call it? Unsettled. Yes, certainly unsettled, right. I'll take my coat off again now. I'm red hot. Oh. Right, next lock, not long, 100 yards or so. No, a bit more than that, a couple hundred yards I think. So here's the lock. It was more like a quarter of a mile. But lovely lock keeper's cottage. There's a lot of water swirling out underneath. Is there a boat in there? Have I emptied it? Or have I just been wishful thinking? It does look a bit like the sluices though, the water's splashing at the bottom. I couldn't see. Well, I said it looked like there's water coming through the sluices or the paddles or whatever. And it's kind of true, so I just get myself this narrow lock. I've only got one gate open. And the wind's blowing me again. There we go. But somebody had left the paddle open at one of the gates. So, water leaking in from the other side was just running straight out into this side, into this pound. So that was a win for me. A bit naughty, whoever did it. Oh, that was tricky. I had a good day with locks yesterday, but I'm not having any help today. The wind. I got into the side of a lock. I wanted to climb up the ladder because the ladder was at the back end here and the other one was right at the front. And as soon as I got in the lock in that position, the wind, even in the lock, just blew me straight across the other side. I opened one of the lock gates, the wind started to blow it shut. I opened the other one instead. Very, very tricky. And then when I left the lock, I tried to close the lock gates, and you can imagine what happened. Wind kept blowing them open. I wonder if that's why the person left the paddle open. Do I keep the things shut? I could have just left them, but I don't like it like that. It always annoys me if somebody leaves them, no matter what the reason. So I got the gates shut as best I could, and as they're trying to open, I ran down the other end, undid the paddle on the other gates, started to drain the lock. As soon as it dropped a couple of inches, the doors actually started to lock together. They banged. I dropped it about 6 inch, no more. They were shut firm, left it like that. So if somebody comes this way into the lock, they'll find it almost full. But the leakage through the gates down the canal, the low end, was very low. So it'll probably soon fill up and blow open again, but I tried. Right, it's 5:30. Not sure how much further to go really. I'll probably give it, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, I'll see. I don't want to go too long. Another long day. Well, I'm moored up for the night. You might just be able to see right in the background if I move the lock, the next lock. I've done 8.25 hours today, 8 locks. I've had rain, sunshine. It's been quite tricky doing locks by myself. So I've had a very successful day, but I'm exhausted. So, folks, if you've enjoyed me pottering along by myself today, you know what to do. Click like and subscribe if you haven't already. See you next week, folks. Bye.